Guys, it finally happened. We just got our first official teaser for The Last of Us Season 2. As part of the official 2024 Last of Us Day, I had a feeling that they were going to be dropping some sort of news, hints, but potentially a trailer would drop, and that is exactly what we got. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to check this trailer out with you guys. We're going to do a full breakdown of every shot, every frame that stands out to us after we watch this thing. But before we get into that, if you enjoy this content, if you want to see more content just like this, trailer reactions, episode reactions, when you already know what to do. Drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new here and want to become a part of the ultimate watch party. I don't even know what we're going to see in this trailer, but I'm not, I don't know. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's just get into it, guys. I hope you brought the popcorn. We're diving into the first official trailer for The Last of Us Season 2.
Oh, you want to start or what?
What did Joel do? I love that they started with that moment. We got the town. Okay. I love it.
Let's try something different.
He always promised he would teach her guitar.
Brave enough to say it out loud.
We got Dina.
Say the thing you're afraid to say.
Joel on the porch.
Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad. What did you do?
Our first look at Abby. Holy shit, dude. Oh man, this is going to be traumatizing all over again. We got that random cult. Holy moly, guys. Y'all aren't ready for this. Not even close. Bring some tissues. All right, guys, so we just got our first official teaser trailer for the upcoming season of The Last of Us. That's right, The Last of Us Season 2, which is going to cover the entirety of the second game. And if you've played the second game, you know just how massive an experience that sequel title is. And so the second season of The Last of Us will only cover a portion of it. But I'm assuming, and it has yet to be confirmed, but we've done some theory testing, how they could kind of break up the seasons to cover the second game and how ultimately this series could lead into a reveal for season 3. That's kind of what I'm kind of thinking. But when we talk about this series, I'm assuming that the series, the HBO show, will cover it'll probably take about 2, maybe 3 seasons to cover the entirety of the second game. I would say 2 seasons comfortably, but again, that is yet to be confirmed. But enough of my theories. We're gonna dive into this 2-minute teaser trailer because there's a lot to unpack here and a lot of scenes and stills from the second game that you can kind of pull, that are obviously referenced here in this trailer. So obviously you have this beginning moment where you see Joel sitting across from a woman who this casting, I don't think this casting has yet to be confirmed just yet. Now, this is obviously, they already did reveal Neil Druckmann did put out a post, I want to say a couple days ago, where he talks about how the series, the second season of the show, will deviate from the game in some aspects, similarly to how the first season did. Now, the series will still, for the most part, kind of lead in the same direction, but there will be some deviations, and I believe that this is one of them. In this moment, we are seeing Joel sit across from a woman who sets a timer, obviously indicating that he is in some sort of therapy session, and she's asking him a question throughout the trailer of what did he do. And obviously, if you guys have played the game, spoiler alert, we know what Joel did. Even if you watch the show, you already know, obviously, his decision to kill a lot of people you know, for the sake of saving Ellie. And that, you know, to this day has become a very, you know, contentious topic amongst the gaming community and people that have seen the show as to whether or not his actions were justified. But all of that aside, in the second game, one of the big deviations that we're already seeing is Joel admits what he did to Tommy. He's not in therapy in the game. And so that's one of the biggest deviations I'm already noticing. Within the first 5 seconds, we see, you know, the show kind of going in a different direction where he potentially reveals what he did. He probably, you know, we could still get that moment with Tommy. We could still get that moment where he talks and admits what he did, right? But obviously, you know, he's going to be admitting it here too. And, you know, obviously, how this all happens and the setting, him doing this with a therapist, potentially could be, you know, it could just work better for TV. But again, you know, it's one of those things we're just going to have to wait and see. Obviously, he looks at her and, you know, we know what he did. And that kind of transitions into this moment here where we see obviously Ellie going and walking through the town. Now, in regards to Ellie, right, I think that the casting for Ellie was great, was phenomenal. Bella Ramsey did a great job in season 1. And I know that this may be one of those moments that a lot of people may not agree with. I feel like they should have recast Ellie for season 2. Now, I'm sure they're going to find ways to try to make her look older. And maybe this is where the show deviates a little bit too. Maybe not as much time has passed since that moment, right? I don't remember how much time passed in the game, but there was a significant amount of time. I mean, Ellie was a teenager, you know, at that point. I would say maybe, gosh, I don't even remember. She might be like 17, 18 at that point in the game. I don't remember. Let me know in the comments if you guys remember how old specifically she was. But obviously what I'm getting at is that she was older, right? Time had passed and it had been, you know, it had been a while since that event happened. And so I kind of had hoped that they would do that same, or at least a similar time skip in that sense. But it seems like in the essence of the show, in them kind of wanting to keep the same actor, it seems like maybe not as much time has passed. So again, another deviation from the game. And I know that this may ruffle some feathers when people see this. It seems like whatever's happening here, them living in this society, right, with Tommy and all the people that have built this society, this is potentially, you know, not even a couple weeks, maybe a couple months after that situation instead of a couple years in order to keep the same actress. But, you know, that's just my theory. I did always like Ellie's look, you know, her being older, I think was very significant. Then we get this moment here. This is a very impactful moment, and I think this is going to be beautiful. I hope that they still do the same thing that they did in the game, because in the game we see, you know, Joel had promised Ellie throughout, you know, multiple moments throughout the game in the first one where he would teach her how to play guitar. And getting into the second game and having this moment where he teaches her how to play and he makes a song for her, plays a song for her. It was a beautiful moment in the game, and I think it really sets the tone for the inevitable heartbreak that is to come, you know, not too long after. And so having this moment too where you see Joel kind of pick up the guitar and you know, it's an exact replica. I think on PlayStation Store, when this game came out, the sequel, you were able to buy this guitar. It was very expensive. It was like $700, the cost of a PS5 Pro, which is overpriced. But I would have paid for this if I had the extra money. You know, if I had just $700 laying around, I would have paid for this. It might have been more too. I don't remember. I think it was $700 though, and it was a beautiful guitar, guys. I mean, it was gorgeous. So I wonder if they used the same replica for this particular moment. But obviously, you see him touching the guitar. Then he's having this moment where he's teaching her. She smiles at him. He smiles back. And obviously, this is going to be a beautiful connected moment between these two characters. And I honestly can't wait to see that. Then we see this moment here that clearly potentially looks like I don't. This might be Joel and Ellie, but this also might be just a tiny glimpse at the wolf group that Abby is a part of. I can't really tell from this particular frame, but it definitely looks like it also could be Ellie and Dina. That could be it too. So moving on from there, we get this moment. This is probably our first official look at Bella Ramsey's Ellie older. And it does look like they have made improvements to make her look a little older. Obviously, her hair is a little longer. She's got her iconic Last of Us 2 tattoo. She's sitting in this moment. There's a beautiful moment early in the game when Ellie and Dina are, you know, they're first on their search. porch. It's probably one of the first moments in the game where the game actually opens up for you a little bit, and we see them kind of have this beautiful moment where she picks up the guitar and plays a song for Dina. Another beautiful moment in the sequel, and it's one of my favorite shots in the entire game. And so we obviously see that moment, and they look at each other, and there's, you know, this is our first look at, I want to say Isabella Merced is playing Dina, and this is our first look at the two characters together. I think Isabella is she's a great casting for Dina. Really excited to see their relationship together in kind of a live action format. And so we move on from there. We get the iconic porch scene with Joel on the porch. I don't know exactly what moment this is. This could obviously, we get the same moment at the end of the game, The Last of Us Part 2, from what I remember, and it's a pinnacle moment between Joel and Ellie. And I don't know if this is necessarily that moment. There were a couple foreshadowing moments on the porch that I think were revealed in the second game, so I'm not exactly sure what this is pointing to, but it is an important moment. It is a very important moment, so we'll kind of see how this kind of progresses. And based on the look of Ellie's face, this definitely seems to be that moment. And it's a moment that is probably one of the most crucial in the entire game, where, you know, she talks to him about what he did and how he took that moment from her, and that she could work to potentially forgive him. And obviously that moment is taken away from her, and that's really just the encompassing feeling of this game, you know, and of this season. It's really about loss and things that were taken away and taking things away from other people, and how the endless cycle of violence just never ends. You know, at some point you have to learn to forgive and kind of move on. Otherwise, you know, you just hurt someone, hurt people kind of thing, you know? And so moving on from there, we get probably what I would assume to be moments from their journey. She asking him, what did he do? Obviously we know what he did, and that's why I think it's such a beautiful transition that we go straight into our first look. It's huge. This is a huge moment, guys. This is a huge moment. I'm excited to see. I've been excited about the castings that we've gotten for this season ever since they were announced, and there was a week months ago where we just got announcement after announcement after announcement highlighting characters, actors that were cast as some of these iconic characters, and we're getting a look at them for the first time here, which is pretty cool if you think about it. And so this is obviously the snow scene moment. This is where I think they are being completely overrun by the infected. This is an iconic moment. We see kind of, you're playing as Abby, and you see her kind of, you know, narrowly getting through. And this is obviously what makes a lot of people mad, because Joel's the one that saves her here, which is obviously what you can see here when he pulls out the gun. It's a very quick moment, but you get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying. He saves her, and they obviously don't show what happens next, but you know, if you guys have played the second game, you know exactly how this goes down. And so then we go from there to we get our first look at, I don't remember their name. I call them the Scars. I call them the Scars. I don't know why. Maybe because the homie has a scar. Yeah, they're a very strange group. Very strange group. And I think there's so much more storytelling that I think could be done about this particular faction. But yeah, they incorporate a lot of factions in the second game. Some that I don't even think are really touched on all too much. And obviously that's one of them, being captured by a dude whose name I can't remember this character's name, but you guys obviously know him. It's been so long since I played the second game. Honestly, I promised myself I would not play it. Again, it's just too heartbreaking. But yeah, we seeing this incredible moment here, where I'm assuming this is the moment where we see, let me see, this is the moment where we see kind of Tommy saying goodbye to his beloved. I don't know if this is after the events of what happens with Abby and the rest of his crew, and then they let them go. And yeah, we kind of see what happens after that. You know, it's a pretty traumatic moment. Obviously, in the first couple episodes, I don't know if this is going to follow those beginning events. And I don't, what makes me nervous about this season is I don't know if this is them, if they're going to put that moment early on, or if they're going to save that moment and fill season 2 with a lot of foreshadowing and a lot of backstory and a lot of flashbacks and things like that in an effort to keep Pedro Pascal through at least another season, or if this is really the end of Pedro Pascal's Joel as we know him throughout the they're gonna have this moment early on in season 2, because and I bring this up because the man is busy. He's got Fantastic Four. He obviously was doing the Gladiator stuff. This has been a busy time for him, and so 2025 we're gonna see a lot of Pedro Pascal, and it's I always wondered how he was gonna be able to balance all of these things, being in this season, and also being in all these different movies that he's a part of now. So we'll see. That is and that's it, guys. That is our first look at The Last of Us Season 2, a season that undoubtedly is going to be incredibly heartbreaking and is going to have a lot of people talking in 2025. Now, I'm just glad that we got a teaser. I was not expecting that we would get an actual release date. We know it's coming out in 2025. There's rumors that it's going to be early 2025, so my theory is kind of sometime before March. But again, we'll have to wait and see kind of how everything shakes out and, when we get an official announcement, which could potentially come at the Game Awards. The Game Awards are in December, and so it is very possible that we do get some kind of announcement for the actual release date of season 2. But we know it's coming in 2025. I'm assuming early, and we'll just kind of have to see how everything shakes out. But this was a great trailer, a great kind of first glimpse at what we can expect and the emotional weight that's going to be accompanying season 2. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What did you think about this trailer? Are you as excited as I am for the second season of The Last of Us? I'm excited, but also simultaneously quite worried about how it's going to look, and some of the deviations that they're going to make to the second season. Are they going to land as well as they did in the first season? I've got nothing but hope. Obviously with the Bill episode being kind of a major deviation from the game, it still worked out to be one of the most beautiful episodes of the season. Really enjoyed that one, and so hopefully that same effect happens with the changes that they make into TV for season 2. But only time will tell. If you guys enjoyed this content and you want to see more stuff just like this from me, dropping a like on this video really helps out. Comment down below, what is your excitement, or when do you think we'll be seeing the second season of The Last of Us? And subscribe if you're new here and like to become a part of the ultimate watch party. That's all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.